This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 27th day of January in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The leader of the opposition, Mohamed, has stated that the $1.558 trillion budget put forward by the government fell woefully short of addressing the challenges confronting the people of Guyana. In an interview with News Source moments after the presentation of the budget last evening, the opposition leader said the 2026 budget fails to reflect the realities of the Guyanese people and would see hundreds of billions of dollars being injected into infrastructure projects to the benefit of friends of the government. He said notwithstanding a commitment by President Irfan Ali in the lead-up to the elections that school children would benefit from a Because We Care cash grant of $100,000 and an additional $100,000 in transportation allowance, the budget only caters for a grant of $60,000, transportation allowance to the tune of $20,000 per year, and uniform allowance of $5,000 per year, a total of $85,000. Mohamed said it is now clear that the president was dishonest with his promises. He said the budget includes meager increases for pensioners, persons with disabilities, and others who are benefiting from public assistance.
Then we have the public assistance, even the persons living with disabilities. $3,000 increase. Come on, from $22,000 to $25,000. If you care for the people, if you claim that you love the people, why give persons $3,000 a month increase? That is so, it's so rough for persons living with disabilities just to get $3,000 more. It's so inhumane. It's like they have no empathy for the people. Now we have the pensioners from $41,000 a month to $46,000 a month and a $20,000 transportation grant per year. So from $41,000 plus 5, that is $46,000 a month. And he promised, I can recall, he promised $60,000 per month and $50,000 transportation grant. So right away, about 400,000 persons, if you add up the students, 205,000 students, we got 95,000 pensioners, that is 300,000. We got 50,000 persons receiving the public assistance monthly. Irfan Ali and the PPP government, they don't care about the people of this country. I didn't hear anything about the public servants. All we hear about is infrastructure. Big $100 billion on roads, but our most important resource is the human resource. But it doesn't reflect this budget.
The opposition leader also said from all indications the budget is heavy on infrastructure with little emphasis on the people. He said he is concerned that billions of dollars would be wasted, as was seen during the past 5 years, and billions more would be lost to corruption.
The team putting the people first. That doesn't reflect the people of this country. It reflects their family, their friends, and their favorites. I noticed $81 billion for NDIA through the Ministry of Agriculture, right? You got more money there for Minister Zulfikar to siphon off behind his contractors and his shell companies.
With the budget debate set to commence next Monday, the opposition leader said the opposition will be scrutinizing the budget document as it continues to press for transparency and accountability from the government. The minister responsible for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, in delivering the budget presentation yesterday, said the budget is intended to give effect to the vision of the president for a modern and prosperous Guyana. Approximately 12.7% larger than the 2025 budget, this year's national budget will see finances being injected into every sector, from education and health to infrastructure and agriculture. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Ready to position your brand at the heart of the region's most influential energy event? The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo invites you to become a sponsor and connect directly with leaders shaping the future of energy and industry. Choose from 4 powerful tiers: Platinum, Diamond, Gold, and Silver. As a sponsor, your brand takes center stage, from live press conferences and magazine features to exclusive speaking opportunities and top-tier visibility across every major platform. Enjoy premium exhibition booths, media coverage, and access to hundreds of industry professionals and decision makers. Whether you want to lead discussions, host networking events, or elevate your brand presence, sponsorship puts your company at the forefront of opportunity and innovation.
We finance everything with Quartz Ready Finance, from educational expenses and those unplanned emergencies. Get it done with financing through Quartz Ready Finance. All you need to apply is a valid ID, proof of income, proof of address, and 2 references. Get quick approval and flexible monthly installments, plus credit protection insurance. Apply in store or online at quartz.com. Quartz Ready Finance. Ready when you are. Conditions apply.
The Star in Rentals is coming to the West Side. Star Rentals is officially opening on the West Coast Demerara. For all your event needs, we've got you covered. Tents, tables and chairs, coolers, porta-cool, fans, and AC, stage lighting, LED screens, portable toilets, executive washrooms, and so much more. Join us for the Star Rentals grand opening, Saturday, January 31st at Lot G, Blankenburg, West Coast Demerara. Star Rentals, we got you covered.
Well, while the opposition appears underwhelmed and not impressed by this year's budget, President Irfan Ali has stated that hundreds of billions of dollars will be going back to the Guyanese people from the $1.558 trillion budget which was presented yesterday. Reacting to the budget in a recorded broadcast last evening, the president said this year's budget is expected to bring the government's developmental plan alive, which includes the development of the people of Guyana by putting more money into their pockets.
Is if you look at Budget 2026, it is actually telling a story that we may very well surpass every single one of the commitment we made. Because in this first installment of real benefits, more benefits for the people, you will see a clear direction as to how the investments are being made to improve lives, expand income, create more disposable income, create jobs, give you safer community, better health care and education, and all of that.
President Ali also said most of the measures in the budget were carefully crafted to help Guyanese save money. He said the direct cash transfers and the increase in several grants will place money directly into the hands of families.
These are direct cash transfers that we are placing in the hands of families. I'm not even talking about a disability grant, the permanent register for people living with disabilities, and the support directly the children with living with disability. When you add those direct transfers, those direct cash transfers, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars that is being pumped into the pockets, that is being pumped into the homes of the elderly, children, women, single mothers, newborn babies. This is what your government has allocated in Budget 2026.
According to the president, a number of economic activities will be created this year for small and medium-sized businesses, as well as for persons in the indigenous community.
When you look at the creation of economic opportunities and the creation and improvement in conditions for even the part-time workers. That's again hundreds of billions of dollars that is pumped in back to people. The increase in the income tax threshold would not only take about more than 5,000 persons off the tax register, but it gives you more disposable income.
President Ali said persons will also benefit by saving from expanded government health services. Let's tell you now that projecting that a $1.558 trillion budget will produce one of the country's biggest deficits, forcing the government to borrow hundreds of billions of dollars to finance its projects and programs this year. APNU parliamentary lead Dr. Terence Campbell today said the budget was lopsided, heavy in infrastructure, with not enough measures in place to pull people out of poverty. The government has budgeted $100 billion for the security sector, $78.3 billion for the social services, $159.1 billion for housing, $161.1 billion for the health sector, $183.6 billion for the education sector, and billions more in infrastructure projects. But during an appearance on Go Mosley Radio alongside his APNU colleague Psycho Andrews this morning, Dr. Campbell said the budget fails to significantly increase the disposable income of Guyanese at a time when inflation remains high and 58% of the population may be living in poverty. He said the meager increases offered to the nation's children, pensioners, and those benefiting from public assistance leave much to be desired, as he poured cold water on the budget and accused the administration of stealing the APNU's 2025 election campaign slogan, "Putting People First," to use as the budget theme.
How are you putting people first? And you're moving pensions from $41,000 to $46,000, $5,000. In a country where there's rampant inflation. Don't bother. I'm unconcerned about that 2.5% inflation figure. That cannot be a real figure. And we're in the APNU. We're looking to start to measure that inflation figure ourselves. Just 5,000. If I recall, back in 2020, the APNU had promised to move pensions then to 50,000, and 5 years later, the PPP government is only moving it to 46,000. Social assistance, $3,000, moves from 22 to 25,000.
Additionally, he said the Because We Care cash grant of $60,000 and the transportation grant of $20,000 and the uniform grant of $5,000 for children fell short of the promise made by the president while on the campaign trail back in 2025. He said the budget is not all bad, and he welcomed the move by the government to establish a Guyana Development Bank with the injection of $100 million and the increase in the low-income mortgage ceiling from $20 million to $30 million. However, Dr. Campbell said the APNU had hoped to see much more in the budget for taxpayers, and more so public servants and private sector workers.
Now, there's the increase in the mortgage ceiling. There's a promise of a development bank. There is the reduction on motor vehicles and ATVs and so on. But I wanted to see more. Completely forgotten private sector workers whose minimum wages I think is still about $60,000 or $65,000. They've been completely forgotten. And the income tax threshold, the APNU had promised we were going to move that income tax threshold to $400,000. You know, the PPP government has given a measly, move it from a measly $130,000 to $140,000. And for the pensioners, I really feel it for them because they had a promise from us for $100,000, which is what we thought was the minimum that they needed to live in this oil economy. And now they end up with $46,000.
Questioned about whether the proposals and promises made by the APNU were feasible, Dr. Campbell responded in the affirmative, explaining that it is the belief of the APNU that the government continues to waste billions of dollars with many projects extensively delayed and in some cases even abandoned or poorly executed. He said the situation is further compounded by corruption, with billions lost due to corrupt practices and political decisions that continue to cost taxpayers.
Wales was a political decision, but they're going to have another gas pipeline. But it's not going to Clonbrook. which was one of the best places identified. It's going to Region 6. And what else is going to Region 6? There's a Rose Hall Airport. There's a Port Morant recording studio. Maybe you could go use the studio garden, right? There's a stadium going to Region 6. There's a hospitality institute going to Region 6. There's an oil and gas institute in Region 6. There is a Palmyra Cultural Institute in Region 6. There's a cricket academy going to Region 6. There's a medical school going to Region 6.
Campbell said it is clear that the government is investing heavily in its base, while leaving regions like Region 10 with no real development. MP Psycho Andrews said the investment in the Guyana Sugar Corporation Gaisuco is another example of the government making poor political decisions. The Sugar Corporation Gaisuco is in line to receive an injection of more than $13 billion, even as it continues to underperform.
The truth of the matter is that the government has spent a whole term and have not been able to turn Gaisuco around. It has failed under their leadership, and they got a new chance, they got a chance, and they said it was going to turn around. They pumped billions in it, and 5 years later, here we are at 2026 in a new budget cycle, and they're pumping more money with no turnaround in sight.
Given its concerns, the APNU coalition is proposing that the budget be restructured to bring real change to the people of Guyana.
The Star in Rentals is coming to the West Side. Star Rentals is officially opening on the West Coast Demerara. For all your event needs, we've got you covered. Tents, tables and chairs, coolers, porta-cool, fans, and AC, stage lighting, LED screens, portable toilets, executive washrooms, and so much more. Join us for the Star Rentals grand opening, Saturday, January 31st at Lot G, Blankenburg, West Coast Demerara. Star Rentals, we got you covered.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Let's tell you now that the government is proposing to spend a staggering $119 billion this year to expand and diversify energy. from upgrading distribution lines to completing phase 1 of the gas to energy project and expanding solar energy. As it relates to the delayed gas to energy project, the finance minister, during his budget presentation, acknowledged that there have been delays, but noted that the project remains a critical component of the government's energy strategy and will be completed this year.
Mr. Speaker, this People's Progressive Party civic government will complete the gas to energy project, and we will deliver 300 megawatts of power, doubling the energy generating capacity in Guyana and reducing the cost of electricity by 50%. We in the People's Progressive Party civic government will deliver that to the people of Guyana.
Further, he said the government will also commence the second phase of the project and will start a third project sooner. Simultaneously, the Guyana Power and Light Company's transmission and distribution network is set for major upgrades to ensure that it can handle the increased power once the project comes on stream. The new transmission system will replace outdated infrastructure, integrating cutting-edge technology that aligns with international standards. Projects, according to the Minister of Finance, include the construction of 155 kilometers of 230 kilovolt double-circuit transmission lines and 167 kilometers of 69 kV double-circuit transmission lines, along with the development of 5 new substations and the upgrade of the Kingston substation.
Mr. Speaker, this People's Progressive Party civic government will not only complete the GTE-1 and the GTE-2, we will resuscitate the Amila Falls hydropower project. We will deliver and install an additional 100 megawatts of solar power. We will upgrade the T&D network, which will deliver power from GT, from Wales to Garden to Eden to Good for Wacting to Sophia to the East Coast, and then over the Berbice River all the way to number 53 village, integrating the entire network.
Among other projects being proposed is a power management project through implementation of the smart grid investment in renewable energy for underserved communities and expansion of the solar farm programs for riverine communities. Continuing on with the budget, a total of $113.2 billion has been budgeted for the country's agriculture sector, and that represents $28.3 billion more than last year. The government is seeking to reinforce agriculture as a major pillar of Guyana's diversification efforts and buttress the country's position in the region as the leader in food security.
We will continue to work to improve production and productivity, improve market access, and increase farm and household income. We will invest in a regional food hub. We are investing in a regional food hub, in mega food parks, in modern port facilities with cold storage capabilities, with agri-tech and agro-industrial complexes. We will also undertake the development, opening up and development of 100,000 acres of new arable land. We will incentivize large, medium and small scale farming. We will strengthen the agriculture value chain. We will promote greater use of smart and appropriate technologies while establishing a network of permanent farmers markets to expand both domestic export and value-added opportunities.
To support its vision, the government has budgeted $13.4 billion for the sugar industry and $430 million to assist those in the rice industry, in addition to $1 billion to aid in the construction of climate-controlled silos for the industry. The finance minister said in the rice industry, the government continues to support its subsectors with production-focused initiatives that are intended to expand acreage and improve yields.
Speaker, over the next 5 years, we will invest in seed processing facilities. We will establish rice-producing clusters. We will promote domestic fertilizer production. We will increase storage capacity through climate-controlled silos, and we will work diligently to secure lucrative markets for paddy and rice. We will also, Mr. Speaker, develop and market value-added rice-based products. Mr. Speaker, just for the commencement of construction of the silos, an amount of $1 billion is provided in this year's budget.
Dr. Singh said the government is already aggressively pursuing trade opportunities for rice to expand reliable markets in Mexico and Europe. Additionally, $3.3 billion has been set aside to support the development of other crops, such as corn and soybean, coconut, spices, and citrus. In the agro-processing sector, the Minister of Finance said the government intends to build on the foundation laid in the last 5 years, explaining that during its last term, it built 15 agro-processing and 10 cold storage facilities. Dr. Singh said the government intends to continue along that line, investing in additional agro-processing facilities such as fruit pulping hubs and state-of-the-art cold storage and packaging facilities. According to him, those interventions will result in the reduction of post-harvest losses and improve the country's export readiness.
In 2026, we will commence works on an agro-processing port facility at Parika and a fruit pulping hub at Letem. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, agro-processing facilities across the country will be upgraded, and we will continue to train agro-processors and promote our local products. To this end,
the government has also budgeted $1.9 billion for the livestock industry, $1.5 billion for the fisheries sector, and another $81.9 billion for drainage and irrigation works. In the security sector right now, the Guyana Police Force has been allocated a further $900 million this year to upgrade its fleet of vehicles and river transportation. Dr. Ashley Singh, the minister responsible for finance, said the government intends to have police presence substantially improve in all communities, and having vehicles will be essential to realizing that goal. He said since returning to office, the government has provided resources to strengthen the police force's capacity through upgrade and increasing its transport assets. He noted also that there will be an automated fleet management system to improve responsiveness and further expand the force's transport capabilities. Minister Singh also stated that infrastructure development remains a critical part of the force's work plan. He said the government will invest heavily again to build more police stations and upgrade existing ones.
in 2026, a further sum of $3.6 billion is budgeted to further enhance the infrastructural capacity of the Guyana Police Force on initiatives that include the construction of the Brick Dam Police Station, for which $1.2 billion is budgeted, completing 11 additional police stations, for which $475.7 million is budgeted, and advancing works on a modern police training academy at Dora, for which $139.8 million is allocated.
Further, the finance minister stated that the government has been transforming the force using technology, saying that interventions so far have been seeing results. He noted that 731 video surveillance sites have been completed in priority areas, which have completely transformed the force's ability to detect criminal acts and apprehend perpetrators. In addition, he said more than 5,000 body cameras were procured last year, and the Safe Country program is slated for further expansion this year.
Mr. Speaker, in 2025, we spent $6.2 billion to expand this system. In 2026, another $5 billion has been budgeted to further roll out this system.
The finance minister said the government will continue to support policing groups across the country with $245.8 million budgeted to support their activities this year. Further, $250 million has been budgeted to train police ranks this year. In total, the government has budgeted $32.6 billion to support the work of the Guyana Police Force this year.
Ready to position your brand at the heart of the region's most influential energy event? The The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo invites you to become a sponsor and connect directly with leaders shaping the future of energy and industry. Choose from 4 powerful tiers: Platinum, Diamond, Gold, and Silver. As a sponsor, your brand takes center stage, from live press conferences and magazine features to exclusive speaking opportunities and top-tier visibility across every major platform. Enjoy premium exhibition booths, media coverage, and access to hundreds of industry professionals and decision makers. Whether you want to lead discussions, host networking events, or elevate your brand presence, sponsorship puts your company at the forefront of opportunity and innovation.
First-time homeowner, ready to build a dream house but worried about getting your plans approved? The Single Window Planning Approval System makes it easy. One application, one online platform, faster, simpler house plan approval. Visit our website to kickstart the process at singlewindow.chpa.gov.gy. No running around, no confusion, just clear steps and efficient service, all in one place. Apply, track, and get approved with confidence. The Single Window System, helping first-time homeowners move from planning to building the smart way. Single Window Planning Approval System, designed for transparency, built for convenience.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We don't want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best. Quench any thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch. Flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. It's citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall. In the region, family members of 2 men killed in a U.S. missile strike against a suspected drug boat near Venezuela filed a wrongful death lawsuit today, alleging the pair was murdered in a manifestly unlawful military campaign targeting civilian vessels. According to Reuters, Civil rights lawyers filed a lawsuit in Boston's federal court, marking the first court challenge to one of the 36 U.S. missile strikes on vessels in the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean, authorized by President Donald Trump's administration, that have killed more than 120 people since September. Family members of Chad Joseph and Rishi Samaru, two Trinidadian men who were among 6 killed during an October 14 strike, in a lawsuit say the two men did fishing and farm work in Venezuela and had been returning to their homes in Las Cuvas, Trinidad, when they were attacked. One of the lawyers for the plaintiffs at the Center for Constitutional Rights said the men were killed in cold blood. His group and the American Civil Liberties Union filed a novel lawsuit under the Debt on the High Seas Act, a maritime law that allows family members to sue for wrongful debts occurring on the high seas, and the Alien Third Statute, a 1789 law that allows foreign citizens to sue in U.S. courts for violations of international law. The United States is working to establish a permanent CIA presence in Venezuela after ousting former President Nicolas Maduro, CNN reported today, citing sources familiar with the matter. While the State Department will serve as the primary long-term U.S. diplomatic presence in the country, the Trump administration will likely lean heavily on the CIA to initiate the re-entry process due to the current political transition and unstable security situation, the report added. According to CNN, the agency's near-term objectives include setting the stage for diplomatic efforts, including relationship building with locals and providing security. In the short term, U.S. officials may operate out of a CIA annex prior to the opening of an official embassy, allowing them to start making informal contact with members of different factions of Venezuela's government, as well as opposition figures, and target third parties who may be threats, the source said, drawing a parallel to the agency's work in Ukraine. And finally tonight, international news. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has told reporters he stands behind his speech in Davos, calling out unconstrained superpowers after a Trump official said he had aggressively walked it back in a call with U.S. President Donald Trump. On Tuesday, Carney told reporters that he told Trump he meant what he said in Davos. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had told Fox News on Monday that Carney was very aggressively walking back some of the remarks to Trump. Carney made global headlines for his Davos speech, in which he indirectly called out the U.S. president for a rupture in this post-war world order. Trump responded in his own speech the following day by saying that Canada lives because of the United States. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.